Whoa! Whoa!
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of the highly anticipated Titan Quest 2. I cannot wait to get my hands on this title, and I have been covering all the news, all the posts, and everything that THQ Nordic has given us on this game. And unfortunately we still don't have a release date, and unfortunately we still don't have gameplay, but I will say this post more than any other post has given us a lot of information on the game, and this should be a fairly short video, so let's go through it. Mythical Beast. In our March update, we detailed factions, but alluded to how not all enemies in Titan Quest will have factions. The boss enemies that you encounter are perfect examples of this, usually fighting alone. These enemies will generally be some of the most lethal encounters you will come across. In today's update, we'll give you a glimpse into the two mini-bosses, the Griffin and the Hippocampus. Mythologically, Griffins hail from Scythenia, a region in the Eastern Europe and Central Asia, where a tribe of them is said to sit atop a hoard of treasure. Like many monsters in Greek mythology, they are a hybrid creature with a lion's body and an eagle's head and wings. When a griffin moves into the neighborhood, there's bound to be trouble, as they're known for picking off sheep, goats, pigs, and even wild boars for their supper. A fight with the griffin is a perfect opportunity for a Greek hero to prove their mettle. But be warned, griffins can be crafty creatures. So here is the actual art for the first mini-boss. I think this is the first mini-boss you encounter. And here's how it looks rendered in the engine. This one's blue. Where did the blue go? It's okay. In combat, the Griffin's most powerful ability has it take off into the air and utilize a powerful swooping attack. As the agile creature, it will also be capable of pouncing around the player, lashing out several times in a row where least expected. This then gets rounded out by several variants of regular melee attacks. While this is the first and easiest mini-boss you will come across, we still intend for it to pose a threat and test your combat fundamentals. Now, the way they are describing these fights, I mean, they're really giving you an outlook into how it's going to go. And I will say, and we'll talk about it more at the end of this post, this might be more No Rest for the Wicked than Titan Quest. Just follow me on this. I'm getting souls. I'm getting souls like from their post, at least today. Hippocampus. Hippocampi are what the ancient Greeks believed is the adult form of seahorse looked like. And you can see that from the reflected of their color, almost feather-like appearance. And in the world of Titan Quest 2, these were basically the chariot horses of Poseidon. Ooh, and they can be very dangerous when invoked. The Hippocampus is somewhat more advanced in combat than the Griffin, utilizing a mixture of cold and lightning damage. It will hit the player with a barrage of powerful attacks such as telegraph, but sudden geyser eruptions, as well as a powerful water jet followed up by stunning lightning strikes. It would also be able to hurl ice shards at the player and make use of several melee attacks, as well as a defensive barrier. What's more, we are experimenting with making the creature completely immune to crowd control effects outside of telegraphed windows and vulnerability. These aspects together will require the player to make use of all they have learned, a good sense of attack, timing, movement during combat, and evasion will be rewarded. Look at this thing. And here's an actual picture of it in game. It always cracks me up when you look at the 2D art to then the 3D render to then what it looks like in game. Every single one looks kind of completely different to me, maybe at least for a color. Okay, this paragraph right here tells me more about Titan Quest 2 than every video I have made. As far as our vision for these boss encounters goes, studious players will learn the moves of these creatures, will be the best equipped to respond to them. It's also about building rhythm and achieving a clean execution. To aid in this learning process, the creatures perform clear sequences of attacks, making it so that clean play can result in victory on the first attempt, providing you survive as you are learning the enemy's move. Mind you, death carries a heavy price in Titan Quest 2. The entire encounter that killed you, whether it's the boss or not, gets fully reset and you will respawn in the previous hub. Convenient teleport options will be provided though. These creatures will certainly have the tools to put players down when they're making several mistakes. Even defeats can teach us useful lessons, however. You can always choose to work on getting a little stronger before returning to your next attempt. You can level up beyond the current area's level or simply farm for items that help against the specific boss in question, such as via resistances. On the other hand, if you're looking for even more of a challenge, you can raise the difficulty by invoking rituals. And I'm guessing rituals are going to be some kind of, you make it harder, but you get better rewards. Or maybe it's a try hard. I have no idea. Lastly, these fights are not one-off experiences, as you'll be able to resummon these beasts in order to reap the rewards again and again. And we'll talk about those rewards in more detail soon. Okay, first things first. You can level beyond the current area's level. That means monster or area scaling with your level. This game does not have it. So if you're level 90 and you go to a level 40, the level 40 is not going to 90. You can just massacre these things later on. Some people like that. Some people don't like it. I personally like it. I think that's okay. It drives me crazy sometimes when it just continues to scale with your level. And then if you're not leveling your gear, you just find yourself getting weaker instead of stronger. Now, when you actually look at the encounter, and I understand that these are mini bosses, right? But in here, obviously, there's no enemies around. And then when you look at the last post and you look at some of the factions you're going to be fighting, I mean, in this shot right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 enemies. In this shot right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 enemies. I mean, everything that they have showed us so far, the world feels kind of empty. And it's actually making me a little nervous. The way it was describing mini boss encounters makes you feel like it's Souls-like encounters. And there is a heavy death penalty. And we still haven't seen gameplay. So I don't know. I could be completely off. That's just what I take from this. And maybe they don't want to show us the gameplay yet because they're not ready to show us the vision. Seeing the backlash for No Rest for the Wicked, which they have improved upon. But obviously a lot of people went into that game thinking it was an isometric action RPG that plays like LE, Diablo, and PoE, and it absolutely doesn't. So that is what we've learned from this post, and I really, really want to see gameplay. I want to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comment section below if you feel the same way that I feel, or if I'm completely off. Let me know. 2 asks at the end of the video. Ask number 1, I'm hoping today is the day I have earned your subscription. I'm hoping today is the day you make the decision to push that little red button. I would really appreciate it, but of course, only if you think I've earned it. And if I haven't earned it, I'm going to work harder for you. Ask number 2, check out my Patreon. Thank you to the first 131 members that have signed up. I get asked all the time, what's the best way to support? And Patreon is it. You get access to movie night, our up-and-coming game night where we're playing V-Rising on May 8th on a Patreon action RPG server. You get access to the VIP lounge, custom content, best way to support, first link in the description. I'm done. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.